to you, I was going to ask about the Twin Peaks jacket. So I'm asking about the Twin Peaks jacket. Actually, more specifically, you're a big Twin Peaks fan.
I am.
How has that show influenced the telling of the story here, specifically in Castle Rock?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I think that the reason that I'm here is probably because I was so completely besotted with Twin Peaks when I was, 12 or 13. It sort of like changed the trajectory of my life in a way. I was a real diehard obsessive. I don't know to what extent. I mean, look, I've always loved, I think we both have, stories of strange happenings in small towns, and just stories about secrets that lurk behind picket fences. And in this case, like, the picket fence has been gone for a long time in Castle Rock, but that sort of strain in American storytelling, from like Updike and Cheever through Desperate Housewives and Twin Peaks, and the last show that I created, Manhattan, which is about the birth of the atomic bomb, was also sort of about a kind of bizarro, kind of proto-Levitt town of the Cold War. So to a certain extent, I think we just have always been obsessed with stories about the dysfunctions of small towns. But Twin Peaks, has such a specific landscape, and it's so steeped in David Lynch's sense of the Northwest. Part of, I think, what we always loved as readers of Stephen King was like how specific his anthropology of New England and of Maine was, in the sense that like he really lovingly, kind of became an archivist of small town life there. And so it was exciting for us to check in on this town that we've been reading about for a long time and like reimagine it in 2018.
I was wondering how hands-on Stephen King has been on this project, and also why do you think Hollywood loves him so much?
Well, when you're sort of trying to essentially tell a new Stephen King story, and you're fans like we are that grew up on Stephen King and that have revered the writer, it was really important to us, and we never would have done it without his blessing and without a feeling that we were delivering something creatively that he was going to be happy with. I think that ultimately we every character choice, every setting of his that we wanted to use in this first season, we went to him and would make sure that he was comfortable with it, and that ultimately, I think part of it is you look at a character like Alan Pangborn, who is sort of at the center of a couple of the great Castle Rock novels, and is an important player in our season. We were coming back to Alan Pangborn, 30 years later, and really it was important to us to know that Steve was comfortable with us sort of telling the postscript to the Alan Pangborn stories that had already been written. So it's been a back and forth, and I think we obviously cherish every interaction we get to have, and every way that we can talk to him about the stories, and hope to continue to.